Alexandrian Library was once the largest library in the world. A bibliophile's greatest dream come true. At its highest point, the library held over 700,000 scrolls. But like all good things, it came to an end. Among prejudice, greed, and all other ill content, the quest for knowledge ceased to exist, and the library was no more. Join us now as we explore one of the greatest triumphs and tragedies in our known history, the Great Library of Alexandria. Our journey begins at the library's beginning. When Alexander the Great founded Alexandria, he also created the library in a conquest of not only land and power, but knowledge as well. In fact, the quest for knowledge got to be so extreme that during the rule of Ptolemy III, all visitors of Alexandria were required to surrender any and all written knowledge that they had. The knowledge was then taken to the library, copied, and then stored in one of the millions of pigeonhole slots in the shelves of the library, while the copies were returned to their owners. But don't believe that the library only held scrolls, parchment, and books. No, the library had a zoo, several lecture halls, and many other features. In fact, the library got to be so full of information that they had to build another, smaller library. It was the daughter library, and even though it wasn't as big as the original, it was good nonetheless. As the Alexandrians gathered information, something happened to their government that changed the library and damaged its stores. Across the Mediterranean, the Roman Empire was formed, and Julius Caesar was looking to expand his empire. The Alexandrian fleet met Julius Caesar's near the Egyptian delta. To destroy the Alexandrian fleet, Caesar sent his fire ships to burn them into the depths of the ocean. However, when Caesar's ships decimated the Alexandrian fleet, some of Alexandria burned as well. There has been much debate about whether the library caught the inferno, but Alexandrian records state that the storehouse of books was burnt down. We translate storehouse of books into library, but the translation wasn't that accurate. It could have been that scrolls were being transported to other cities for diplomatic agreements, and that that storehouse was destroyed, not the library. But the loss of scrolls wasn't the only dramatic change when the Romans came. The Romans made huge changes to the library. For instance, the Romans decreased dramatically the number of papyrus scrolls and increased the number of parchment. The Romans also deleted many of the pigeonhole shelves held within the library. Caesar also decreed that a section in the library be dedicated strictly to the glory of the Roman Empire. Even though the changes were extreme, the library flourished for a long, long time. As the library grew, an instability within Alexandria's government established. Our journey continues near the fall of the Roman Empire. Alexandria is divided into three sections. One is occupied by the pagans, another is held by the Jews, and the last is where the Christians lived. Fed up with dealings with the pagans, Emperor Theodosius decreed that all pagan influence be wiped clean from Alexandria. The Christians gathered up a force from their section and invaded the pagan section. Showing no mercy, the Christians annihilated 2/3 of the pagan population. After that, they broke into the library and destroyed all of the pagan records and written knowledge held there. Even though the Christians saw that knowledge unclean and filthy, invaluable information was held in the pagan records. However, this wasn't the last time the library would be defiled because of religious beliefs. We arrive now in the middle of Muslim conquest. The Muslim forces are marching across North Africa and taking land in the name of Islam. When the Muslim flag approached the gates of Alexandria, they prepared for battle and fought. The Alexandrians, however, surrendered when casualties became too great. When the Muslim general came across the library, he requested counsel from Caliph Omar for his next actions. The Caliph sent a letter back saying, "They will either contradict the Quran, in which case they are heresy, or they will agree with it, so they are superfluous." So, the library's books were used to feed the fires of the bathhouses in Alexandria. Some scholars debate over this, since the Bible and Torah can't be destroyed because of their connection to the Quran. No one knows if the entire collection in the library was destroyed, or if the Bible and Torah were spared. It is a tragedy that hundreds of thousands of invaluable scrolls were burned because of their disagreement to a religion. But the Muslims weren't the only culprits in this felony. The Christians also destroyed invaluable scrolls because of their disagreement to their religion. It is difficult to imagine what history would have been like if the scrolls were still around. Some people say that we would have had a renaissance in the Dark Ages, and that our technology would be 500 years more advanced if this triumph and tragedy had survived. The Great Library of Alexandria.